As expected, there will be a number of vigils throughout the country. There's going to be a lot of discussion about who these people were, and also there's going to be a huge discussion renewed about gun control. For more on the story, Allison Gormley.
That's right. Friends gathered in Woodcliff Lake, New Jersey Thursday evening to remember 14-year-old Alyssa Al-Hadef. Alyssa was one of 17 people shot to death Wednesday in a Florida high school. According to friends, Alyssa lived in Bergen County for almost 4 years. Former classmate and friend Ariel Solomon was at the vigil and talked about what the town is doing.
A lot of us are tying red ribbons on our mailboxes or trees to as like a remembrance for Alyssa.
Alyssa's mom, Lori, was interviewed on CNN and begged for President Trump's help.
I just spent the last 2 hours putting the burial arrangements for my daughter's funeral, who's 14.
New Jersey Senator Bob Menendez said at a press conference that thoughts and prayers are not enough.
They've consistently put the profits of gun makers ahead of American lives, and it's time that those who continuously fight against common sense safety reforms are called out for their complicity.
A source in President Trump's administration told reporter Jonathan Swan that Trump told those close to him that we have to do something and that he wants to know what our options are. Some Republicans argue that stricter gun laws will not prevent bad people from doing bad things. Authorities said Nicholas Cruz, a former student of the high school, opened fire with a legally purchased AR-15. He confessed to police and faces 17 counts of premeditated murder. I'm Allison Gormley reporting for Chasing News.
Thank you, Allison. Joining us now is Anna Lewis, a friend of Alyssa, one of the victims of the shooting down in Florida, who used to live in Woodcliff Lake. And Anna, you live in Woodcliff Lake now, right?
Yeah.
And you're a friend of Alyssa's?
Yes, we were very close childhood friends.
So can you tell us a little bit about what Alyssa was like?
Alyssa was a very passionate girl, and she was so friendly to everybody, no matter what circumstance. She was on my soccer team, and she was absolutely so sweet and outgoing with every single person. And I did hurt myself a lot on the field, and she was the first person to drop the game and come and help me. And her mother was definitely one of her biggest fans.
I'm sure, Anna, you are as upset as the rest of the town. Did you go to the vigil they had last night?
Yes. And together we all lit a candle and we all shared memories together and we all cried together. And it was just a great thing to honor her memory.
And Anna, you went to school today, right?
Yes.
Could you tell us what happened at school? Is there anybody there helping you all get through this? A lot of you probably knew Alyssa directly.
Everybody at school is extremely upset. We have our guidance counselors that help us and our principal. We had a moment of silence for Alyssa and all of the other victims in Florida.
Are you doing anything in town for the family, the survivors, the family of Alyssa? Her mother, for example?
All of us together are trying to do a charity to help the family. And as C-Teen, we're also trying to support them as well.
Thank you, Anna. And now we're going to bring in our A-plus panel. I got Peter Brown from Linden, a councilman, to talk a little bit about gun control, and Assemblywoman Serena DeMasso, a Republican from Monmouth County. First, let's start with you, Pete. What do you think about Anna's story and about what happened down in Florida?
It's tragic what happened down in Florida, and I think I share everyone else's thought that, our hearts goes out to the family and to the friends and relatives down there. So it's sad. But to automatically say that Trump needs to do something, we do this every time there's a shooting, that we hold the president responsible. I think what Trump can do, though, is hold a meeting with leaders, community leaders, the NRA, and other interest groups to address this epidemic. I think that's what he can do.
Serena, don't we already have the most stringent gun control laws in the country here in New Jersey?
Here in New Jersey, we do.
So what can the President of the United States, today's New York Post has, do something about this, Mr. President.
Yeah, I think to Peter's point, he has to show some leadership in this. He has to give Congress some direction of things that he really thinks needs to be done. It's not necessarily about gun control per se. It's a greater issue there. There's mental illness involved. This is a big issue.
Let me ask you one question. Do you think it's too soon to have this conversation? Shouldn't we be just grieving about the families and the losses now?
Well, it shouldn't be a political issue.
I think
that's the issue. Is that this is not the first, it's not the second time. This is something that now we've gotten used to. I think we need to stop and see how can we address this issue. It's not a matter of just taking guns away. It's also a matter of, it was on social media. I think the social media companies have a responsibility that when a video like this is posted,
Well, thank you. There you have it, both sides of the equation. We have a lot more to talk about. I'm sure over the next coming weeks we're going to hear a lot from both the President of the United States and from our legislators on the federal and the state level.